The Bermuda Triangle, a stretch of ocean whispered about in legends, where ships vanish and planes disappear without a trace. Among its most chilling mysteries is the case of Star Tiger, a British airliner that took off in 1948, bound for Bermuda, and was never seen again. What really happened that night? And why does the disappearance of Star Tiger still haunt the shadowy skies of the Bermuda Triangle? 31 people were on board, and none of them were ever seen again. No wreckage, no distress call, just silence over the waves. British South American Airways, BSAA, was born from the ambitions of former World War II pilots. Their mission? To pioneer passenger routes across the Atlantic to South America and the Caribbean. In a time when long-distance flight was still a gamble, they flew boldly into the unknown. Their aircraft of choice was the Avro Tudor, a sleek post-war airliner built from bomber lineage. The Tudor IV was larger, more powerful, and supposedly fit for these ocean crossings. Star Tiger was one such machine, but even before that final flight, she had shown troubling signs. Star Tiger's last journey began in Lisbon on January 28, 1948, but as passengers boarded, the crew discovered an engine issue. The flight was delayed by over 2 hours. Eventually, they took off, headed first for a refueling stop on the Azores. There, the weather turned even worse. Heavy rain, strong winds. Captain Brian McMillan decided to wait it out until the following day. Among the passengers was Air Marshal Sir Arthur Conyngham, a decorated hero of World War II, a man who had survived Europe's fiercest battles, but would not survive this flight. On January 29th, the weather hadn't improved much, yet McMillan made the call to take off. His strategy? Fly low, just 2,000 feet above the sea, to avoid the fiercest winds. A risky move. Star Tiger stayed in radio contact with another BSAA aircraft ahead of her, a Lancastrian flown by Captain Frank Griffin. For over 10 hours, both planes battled wind and rain across the black Atlantic sky. At 3:04 a.m., Star Tiger's radio officer requested a bearing from Bermuda. The signal was too weak. 11 minutes later, he tried again. This time, Bermuda responded with a bearing, 72 degrees. The response was acknowledged. That was the last time anyone heard from Star Tiger. No distress call. No further transmission. Just nothing. By 4:40 a.m., Bermuda declared an emergency. A full-scale search began. 26 aircraft scoured the ocean. The U.S. Air Force, Navy, and civilian ships joined in. But there was no trace. Not a single piece of wreckage. No oil slick. No life raft. Nothing. Only one odd clue emerged. A merchant ship reported seeing a low-flying plane with blinking lights, hundreds of miles off course. If it was Star Tiger, what was it doing so far from Bermuda? Investigation. The British government launched a formal investigation, the first major air disaster inquiry since the crash of the airship R-101. The findings? Disturbing in their ambiguity. The crew was experienced. The weather rough, but not catastrophic. The aircraft could have stayed airborne even if an engine had failed. There were no signs of sabotage, no confirmed technical faults. Yet the court concluded the fate of Star Tiger must remain an unsolved mystery. The investigators could only suggest possibilities: fatigue, a sudden gust of wind, an instrument failure, but none were provable. Theories and speculation. Some believe the crew, tired after a long flight, simply flew into the sea, misjudging altitude in the dark. Others suspect fuel mismanagement. The switches for the reserve tanks were located in the passenger cabin. If someone forgot to switch over in time, the engines might have died in midair. More fantastical theories point to sabotage, or the Bermuda Triangle. This flight, after all, vanished in the same region where Flight 19 disappeared just 3 years earlier. But not a single shred of hard evidence has surfaced. Not then, and not in the 75 years since. Outro: Star Tiger took off on a cold January evening and vanished into the night. 31 souls lost to time. Their final moments, their final words, unknown. Her story remains a haunting reminder of the ocean's secrets and the sky's silence. If you enjoy our video, please subscribe and click like. Thank you.